guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl, and today we're going to be doing new releases for 2022 part 2. In case you missed it, I will link the video for the part 1 of this announcement up in the cards for you guys. That was where I listed all the new releases that I am interested in from January through June. This is going to be all the new releases from July through December. Keep in mind, I have some very popular things that are not going to be on here only because I haven't caught up with the series or maybe even started the series yet. Maybe I'm just not interested in it. Some of these are going to be really popular, some are going to be random. I'm not going to get to all of these this year. I'm probably only going to get to a couple, but these are the ones I'm interested in, and I thought maybe you guys might be interested in them as well. Starting up with July. So July, I only have one so far that I'm interested in, and that is Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. And that is coming out on July 5th. This is the official sequel to The Nightmare Before Christmas in book form, written by Shea Ernshaw. I mean, so many good things. I am a Halloween obsessed gal. I really enjoy The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm very excited for this book. I like Shea Ernshaw's writing style. I have no idea what to expect. Are we going to get Jack and Sally's kids in here? Are we going to get another grand adventure? What's going on? Super pumped to check this out. I'll probably save it more towards the fall, but it's coming out very soon. Next up is August. So we have The Stars Between Us by Kristen Terrell. So I don't know if this is her debut or not. I haven't heard of this author before, but there's always been mystery to Vika Hale's life. Ever since she was a child, she has had an unknown benefactor providing for her and her family, making sure that her and her sister received the best education they could. Now, Vika longs for a bigger life than being a poor barmaid on a struggling planet, but those dreams feel out of reach until one day she learns that her benefactor was a billionaire magnate, recently died under suspicious circumstances, and she has been shockingly included in his will. This has got spacey vibes, which is why it's on here, and I thought that the premise sounded kind of cool too. Coming out August 16th is The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd Jones. This one is once upon a time the Kingdom of Wales were rife with magic and conflict. 18-year-old Merid Mur is well acquainted with both. She is the last living water diviner and has spent years running from the prince who bound her to his service. Under the prince's orders, she locates the wills of his enemies, and he poisoned them without her knowledge, causing hundreds of deaths. And after discovering what he had done, Mur wants to go to great lengths to disappear from his reach. Then her old handler returns with a proposition: use her powers to bring down the very prince that abused them both. There's like a magical well and stuff in here. I don't think there's mermaid action, but I feel like it might have it because she's like a water controller, and there's like a bunch of different things. It just sounds super unique, and her covers always look amazing too. Then we have Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I know a couple people have already read the arc of this and loved it, so that's one of the reasons that it's on here, besides this amazing cover, which you will see is kind of a theme for this year. There are a lot of covers with like these girls and flowers and like poisonous looking plants. So this one is orphaned as a baby. 19-year-old Signa has been raised by a string of guardians, each more interested in her wealth than in her well-being, and each has met an untimely end. Her remaining relatives are the elusive Hawthorns, an eccentric family living in Thorngrove, in a state both glittering and gloomy. Its patriarch mourns its late wife through wild parties, while his son grapples for control of the family's waning reputation, and their daughter suffers a mysterious illness. When their mother's restless spirit appears claiming she was poisoned, Signa realizes that the family she depends on could be in grave danger and enlists the help of a surly stable boy to hunt down the killer. Again, sounds like all the things I want. We got a mysterious manor, we got a poisoning, we've got some creepiness, we've got a stable boy romance. I'm guessing. I can't wait. Following this trend, we have Lord of the Fly Fest. This is coming out August 30th. So this is supposed to be like One of Us is Lying meets Lord of Flies, which I haven't read the Lord of the Flies yet, and I really need to because I like all the retellings. But Ralphie Francisco needs something really special to put her true crime podcast on the map. She sets her sights on Riverstone, the heartthrob musician who rose to stardom after the mysterious disappearance of his girlfriend. Ralphie lands herself a ticket to the exclusive Fly Fest where River will be the headliner. So it looks like we have like a mysterious concert situation, which I read something similar to this for this summer and I really liked it. So again, we've got this cool looking cover, survival-y probably. Moving on to September. We have Shades of Ruin and Rust. This is by A.G. Howard, coming out on September 6th. So embrace the mystery, invoke the magic, enter the mystical. Phoenix Nix Loring knows her family is under a Halloween curse, and when she was 3, her parents tragically died on October 31st. 11 years later, her twin sister suffered a similar fate. Ever since, Nick has battled survivor guilt, and she can't even find comfort in Clary, Lark's boyfriend, and the one person who understands her pain. Because Nix's hidden feelings for him go far beyond friendship. All that remains are her sketches, where she finds solace among the goblins and fairies in her imaginary world of mystical. When her depression starts affecting her ability to see color, Nix all but gives up on her art until her uncle goes missing on Halloween Day. Hot on his trail, Nix and Clary step through a portal, becoming trapped inside a decaying version of their own town filled with Nix's own sketches come to life. I mean, come on, that sounds amazing. I love A.G. Howard. It's a true Halloween read. I will bet your bottom dollar I'm going to try and get this for Not So Scary-a-thon, my fall and Halloween readathon coming out later. It sounds incredible, and the cover is awesome too, and I just love that premise. We have Monsters Born and Made by Tanvia Barwa. Again, I don't know if I'm saying any of these right. She grew up battling the monsters that live in the Black Seas, but it couldn't prepare her to face the cunning cruelty of the ruling elite. Perfect for fans of The Hunger Games meets Fable. We've got a South Asian inspired fantasy, a gripping novel. This is a debut novel about the power of the lead, the price of glory, and a girl's chance to change it all. So I'm hoping, again, we've got a little bit of like ocean-y lore in here. Fable meets The Hunger Games. Sounds pretty dang good to me. Then we have Ghost Light by Kenneth Opel. I really enjoy Kenneth Opel's writing style. I've read a couple books from him now that I super enjoy, so I want to check this one out. This is one teen's summer job scaring tourists with ghost stories and takes a terrifying turn when he accidentally summons the spirit of a dead girl, and she has demands. So that sounds really cool. I thought this was middle grade, but now I think it's YA. It just sounds good, and I just really enjoyed this author. Then of course we have The Ballad of Never After, coming out September 13th by Stephanie Garber. So this is the second in Stephanie Garber's second, I think, trilogy. So I know the first one is Once Upon a Broken Heart. I haven't read it yet. I know, I'll do it soon. This one is set in the world of Caraval, and that's all I know. I don't know if it's in the future, I don't know if it's in the past, I don't know if it's an alternate universe. I think there's some crossover characters. I love Caraval so much, so I can't wait to get to this series. And I put this one on here because I just feel like I'm going to love Once Upon a Broken Heart. So I better be hyped for this one. Then we have Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco, coming out September 27th. This is the one I'm the most nervous about. This is the third book in her new trilogy. Kingdom of the Cursed was the first one, and Kingdom of the Wicked is the second one. I really enjoyed Kingdom of the Cursed. I loved her stalking Jack the Ripper quartet, but then Kingdom of the Wicked did some things that I didn't love. It just felt like a totally separate book from the first one, and not like in a good way. I'm hoping that this final book will kind of combine some of the things I loved with some of the newer things she was trying to do, and it will kind of balance itself out a little bit. The second book just had a lot of like smutty, spicy scenes in it. It felt like that was what the story was about versus what we were getting in the first book, which was more of a plot and kind of like a slow build romance. I'm okay with some like spiciness in books, but it just felt like it was kind of totally out of left field, and it was a lot. So I'm hoping that the third book will kind of bring it all home. Then we have Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. This is September 27th as well. So I really enjoyed Adrienne Young's Fable duology. I haven't read any of her other books yet, but I'm curious to check this one out. This is a rural island community steeped in mystical superstition of its founders and haunted by an unsolved murder is upended by the return of the suspected killer in this deeply atmospheric novel. Emery Blackwood's life was forever changed on the eve of her high school graduation when the love of her life, August Salt, was accused of murdering her best friend Lily. Now she is doing what her teenage self swore she never would, living a quiet existence among the community that fractured her world in two. She'd once longed to run away with August, eager to escape the misty, remote shores of Circe Island and chase new dreams. Now she maintains her late mother's tea shop and cares for her ailing father. But just as the island, rooted in folklore and tradition, begins to show signs of strange happenings, August returns for the first time in 14 years and unearths the past that nobody wants to remember. I mean, it sounds amazing. Princess of Souls by Alexandra Christo. So I need to read more from her. This is the author of To Kill a Kingdom, which I'm still kind of on the fence about, but for 16 years, Celestra has been trapped in a castle on the floating mountain, prepared to take her mother's place as the king Sarah's right hand, tied by blood to steal souls for the immortal king of the Six Isles. The Somniatus Witch foretells the death of participants in the Festival of Predictions, and to outrun your fate is to save your soul and steal the king's immortality. But if you die, your soul is forfeit. And though thousands have tried, nobody has ever beaten death. So we've got like we've got a floating mountain and a stealing soul situation. It sounds very, very cool. Okay, so excited for this one. Prince of Sea and Song by Lindsay Miller. The Princes, book number 1. So this is part of a new Disney series that's going to be following the princes. And I don't know if it's like their thoughts or if it's a continuation of the original story, but this is going to be following Prince Eric in The Little Mermaid. I don't know if it's during The Little Mermaid again or after or what, but it's mermaidy and I'm so excited about it. I'm not sure what they're doing next, but I can't wait. So that's really all I need to know, and I'm already really hyped. Then we have Malice House by Megan Shepherd. Again, another author that I really love and just want to check out things from her. This one's a little different than what she normally does. So this one is supposed to be like a psychological thriller. I don't know if it's like set on an island, but there's like monsters and drama, and it sounds really good. Hopefully it's not too scary, but Megan Shepherd does a good job of making things like creepy but not terrifying. And that's coming out October 4th. Then we have Reader, I Murdered Him by Betsy Cornwall. This is an author that I feel like is going to be a favorite. I still have not read anything from her. I have a bunch of her books. Adele grew up in the shadows, first watching from backstage at her mother's Parisian dance halls, then wandering around the gloomy haunted rooms of her father's manor. When she finally sent away to boarding school in London, she's happy to enter the brightly lit world of society girls and their wealthy suitors. Yet there are shadows there too. Many of the men that try to charm Adele's new friends do so with dark intentions. After a violent assault, she turns to a roguish young con woman for help. Together they become vigilantes, meting for justice. But can Adele save herself from the same fate of those that she protects? Looks like we've got like a cool like murder mystery vigilante situation. Sounds great. Also coming out October 11th is Saga Volume 10. You guys, I became obsessed with this graphic novel I think 2 or 3 years ago. We've been waiting a very long time for this next installment, and the last one left off on a horrific cliffhanger. This is a adult graphic novel series. It's very adult, very graphic, very sexual. Just be warned. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I became obsessed. There's like a Romeo and Juliet situation. We've got 2 species from different planets that get together and have a baby, and they get chased by both sides for doing this and breaking rules and all that kind of stuff. So you're following it from the kid's perspective. It's so absolutely amazing. And I can't wait for this next one. Then we have Road of the Lost. It says perfect for fans of Cruel Prince. Again, we've got one of those like planty, islandy covers. So even the most powerful magic can't hide a secret forever. Kroll is a brownie, glamored to be invisible to humans. Her life in the wild forest is ordinary and her magic is weak. Until the day that her guardian gives Croy a book about magic from the other world, the world of the higher fae. She wakes up the next morning with something pulling at her core, summoning her to the other world. It's a spell that she can't control or break. So we've got islands and brownies and fairies and all that kind of goodness. Sounds awesome, and this comes out October 18th. Into the Glades by Laura Sebastian. I believe this is a middle grade. I'm not entirely sure. I really like Laura Sebastian's Ash Princess series, and I need to try all of her books now because I feel like I love her writing. So best friends Cordelia and Larkin have always called the Glades a peaceful swamp full of magical creatures home. But when Osiris, Cordelia's father and the leader of their village, dies unexpectedly, a dark curse sweeps over the land. The girls know the curse must be tied to his death, and they determine to break its hold on their home and to bring him back to life. Together, Cordelia and Larkin and their 2 brothers set off into the wild glades in search of an elusive and enigmatic witch who is rumored to have the power to reverse death. So I believe this is middle grade, but it just looks so precious, and I love Laura Sebastian. Now for November. Coming out November 1st is The Vermilion Emporium. So this is by Jamie Pacton. Again, I'm not sure if this is a debut or not. A Day for Finding Things. On the morning Twain, a lonely boy with a knack for danger, discovers a strand of starlight on the cliffs. Outside Sevron, a mysterious curiosity shop appears in town. Meanwhile, Quinta, the ordinary daughter of the extraordinary circus performer, chases rumors of the shop, the Vermilion Emporium, desperate for her a way to live up to her mother's magical legacy. When Quinta meets Twain outside the Emporium, 2 things happen. 1, Quinta starts to fall for this starlight boy who uses his charms to hide his scars. 2, they enter the store and discover a book that teaches them how to weave starlight into lace. It just sounds so magical, so enchanting, so perfect for fall, even though it's coming out in November. Sounds great. Also coming out November 1st, How to Excavate a Heart. So this is a Christmas story. So we're getting some YA Christmas new things coming in. I'm obsessed with Christmas. I host a Christmas themed readathon at the end of the year. This is a enemies to lovers Christmas tale. Basically it's like contemporary Christmassy romance, which is one of the only contemporary romances I like, is like Christmassy themed. So I'm hoping we're getting all those holiday vibes. Then we have Cursed by Marissa Meyer. This is the second book in the Gilded series or trilogy. I read Gilded this year. I really enjoyed it. Marissa Meyer is my favorite author. It is kind of a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, but it weaves a bunch of fairy tales together. We've got a girl that winds up going to a dark manor because they think that she can weave straw into gold, and she meets this mysterious boy that helps her, and there's like this evil prince that kind of makes her do things. Doing a super bad job explaining it, but this is the second book. The cover's incredible. I enjoyed the first one. Again, major cliffhanger at the end. Can't wait to check it out. Then we have Wilderness of Stars, again by Shea Ernshaw. I really loved Shea Ernshaw's Winterwood. I didn't love Wicked Deep as much, but I loved Winterwood, so I want to check out more from her. Vega has lived in the valley her whole life, forbidden by her mother to leave the safety of its borders because of the unknown threats awaiting for her in the wilds beyond. But after her mother dies, Vega begins to see stars falling from the sky. It's an omen she can no longer ignore, forcing her to leave the protective boundaries of the valley. But the outside world turns out to be much more terrifying than Vega could have imagined. People are gravely sick, they lose their eyesight, their hearing, just before they lose their lives. What Vega keeps to herself is that she is the last astronomer, a title carried from generation to generation, and she is the only one who carries the knowledge of the stars. Knowledge that could hold the key to the cure. And so when the locals spot the tattoo on Vega's neck in the shape of a constellation, the mark of an astronomer, chaos erupts. Threats her mother warned her about become all too real. I mean, does that not sound absolutely amazing? And that comes out November 29th. And then lastly, we have December. Then we have The Poison Season by Maria Rutherford. This comes out December 6th. Again, we've got one of those similar covers. So Lilo has spent her life on Indela, coexisting with the bloodthirsty forest and respecting the poisonous lake that protects her island from outsiders who seek to destroy it. But as much as she cares for her community, she struggles to accept that her younger brother will be exiled by his next birthday unless he gains the magic of the enchanted song so vital to Endla. When Lilo sees a young outsider on the verge of drowning in the lake, she knows exactly what she's supposed to do. But in a moment that will change everything, she betrays her family, her best friend, by making an unthinkable choice. So we've got like a destined death, some magical abilities, and a cool island. I'm game. Then we have Lightbringer by Pierce Brown. I would say this is the one I'm the most excited about, but I haven't read the others in the series because I wanted to wait till we were closer to getting this one so I could catch it up. I'm hoping I can catch up with the second part of the Red Rising series. So the first part is a full trilogy, and I believe this next part is set 10 years in the future. I'm not sure how many of the main characters are in there or if they all are. I've still heard amazing things about it. It's adult, it's sci-fi, it's very brutal, it's so good. I can't wait to read the next 3, including this one, which comes out December 7th. And then lastly, we have A Million to One. I can't pronounce this author's last name and I don't want to butcher it, so it'll be up here. This is coming out December 13th, so this is supposed to be Titanic meets Ocean's 8. Sounds amazing. A thief, an artist, an acrobat, and actress. Josefa, Amelia, Haina, and Violet seemingly don't have anything in common. They're united in one goal, stealing the Rubaiyat, a jewel-encrusted book aboard the RMS Titanic that just might be the golden ticket to solving their problems. But careless mistakes, old grudges, and new romance threaten to jeopardize everything they've worked for and put them in incredible danger. While the odds of pulling off the heist are slim, the odds of surviving are even slimmer. So that just sounds really fun and cool. I probably won't get to it this year, obviously, but thought I'd include it in here because it's kind of unique. So you guys, that was kind of long. Those are all the ones I'm excited about, looking forward to this year. I'll probably only get to a couple of them, but let me know which ones sound really appealing to you or what you're most looking forward to. And yeah, that's it for the new releases for this year. In January, I'll have another new set for 2023. I'm already starting to collect things that are coming out that I'm excited for. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Bright Side Girl for more bookish and non-bookish content. And I'll see you guys next time on The Bright Side.